Let's talk swearing. A big-ass concept that makes young people feel cool and accepted. Meanwhile, old people go nuts and say stuff like,
Cursing is the sign of a weak mind and even weaker character.
both of these extremes seem a bit, well, extreme. But is there maybe some kind of middle ground where we can all just relax and exchange a couple of respectfully, of course. In this video, we will talk about what swearing actually is, how it can improve your health and relationships, and most importantly, how it can be applied to language learning, in our case Spanish. Thank you for joining, and let's begin. So what is swearing? When I Google it, the first thing that comes up is the definition from the Oxford Dictionary. Oxford is in England. You're welcome, America. It states that swearing is considered as the use of language regarded as coarse, blasphemous, or otherwise unacceptable in a polite or formal speech in order to express anger or other strong emotion. Sounds serious, but it does specify that it's used for other strong emotions as well, not just anger. Now let's see what Cambridge Dictionary has to say. To swear is to use words that are rude or offensive as a way of emphasizing what you mean or as a way of insulting someone or something. As a way of emphasizing what you mean. Well, that doesn't sound bad. Finally, let's check if Wikipedia has anything to add. Profanity involves the use of notionally offensive words for a variety of purposes, including to demonstrate disrespect or negativity, to relieve pain, to express a strong emotion as a grammatical intensifier or emphasis, or to express informality or conversational intimacy. And people say Wikipedia is dying. This is the most balanced definition of swearing I've ever seen, because just like with everything else in life, swearing is a tool that can be used for good things and bad. Think about it. We learn martial arts in hopes that we will never have to use it outside of the dojo. Programmers learn ethical hacking not to scam people, hopefully, but to be able to strengthen their systems in order to stop bad boys, hackers. We have tamed the fire, which makes us warm, but it can also burn our asshole if we're not careful. And swearing is not an exception, because when it comes to using bad words, it doesn't just have to do with you using the bad words, but your ability to recognize them in public, which could be a matter of personal security. When you travel to a place you've never been to, a place language of which you do not speak very well, you will constantly be surrounded by people who may wanna take advantage of you. And if you know only good traditional words in Spanish, you might not recognize that someone may have a malicious intent towards you, like selling drugs or worse, anime figurines. This is what I mean by swearing can save your life. Nobody's making you use bad words, but I want you to learn them anyway, because people will always be people regardless of where you are in the world. Now let's talk about pros and cons of swearing, starting with the cons. Do not swear at your grandmother. Can you manage that? Look at her. Do you think she deserves to be sweared at? No. No, she does not. Now let's talk about pros. Let's begin by taking a deep breath and thinking about the fact that the chimpanzees in the wild use their excrements as a social sign to drive people away. At the same time, the hand-raised chimps who were potty trained learned sign language for poo so they could tell the scientists when they needed a toilet. And as soon as they learned the poo sign, they began using it like we do the word shit, which makes cursing just a way of expressing your feelings that doesn't involve throwing actual shit. We just throw the idea of shit around. That is all to say that everyone does it. I do it, you do it, your grandmother and your cat do it as well. Now, does that mean that we should do it every chance we get? Absolutely not. But maybe next time you accidentally drop an F-bomb, cut yourself some slack. You're just a human. Now let's get to the actual benefits of swearing. Benefit number 1. Swearing improves pain tolerance. Have you ever hit a corner of a table with your pinky toe? Lovely feeling, isn't it? If somehow the first word that comes out of your mouth is not fuck, then I have nothing to teach you. Now let's get to the facts that I found from some random studies. People on bikes who were swearing while pedaling against resistance had more power and strength than people who used neutral words. People who cursed as they plunged their hand into icy water felt less pain and were able to keep their hands in the water longer than those who said the neutral word. And get this, people who cursed while hitting a table with their pinky toe showed signs that they're fucking human. Basically, swearing distracts us from pain by triggering our body's fight or flight response. The key though is to not overdo it. If you're gonna swear too much, then the curse words are gonna lose their magic and become less effective. Benefit number 2. Swearing is a sign of intelligence. Another study found that people with better proficiency in the language were able to generate more cursing words than people whose vocabulary is, well, less proficient. Not only that, but they would also know better when to use curse words. So the next time someone swears at you and you can't understand what it means, let's be honest, he's probably a phony piece of shit who found a fancy word on the internet and thinks he's better than you. But there's a small chance that his IQ could actually be higher than that of an average moron from Harvard these days. Side note, if you go to Harvard and you wear a shirt that says Harvard on it, even when you go for a hike, you're an idiot. Benefit number 3. Swearing is a sign of honesty. This is another way of saying that once you feel comfortable with someone, you know you can just relax and be yourself, which may include an occasional F-bomb. Or fart. You speak differently with your boss than with your parents, and you speak differently with your parents than with your best friend. Again, you don't have to swear to show this transition, but lots of us do, and there's nothing wrong with that. People who think that by swearing you somehow open the gates to hell need to pull the head out of their asses and realize that swearing is not going anywhere. All you have to do is get out of the house and see for yourself. Another side note, people who say shoot instead of shit, flip instead of fuck, and gosh instead of god, just stop, please. Either respect the craft of cursing or stop it altogether. Nobody is making you swear. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. You're only embarrassing yourself. You sound like you're trying to be cool, but you forgot that you shit your pants half an hour ago, and it fucking smells. If anyone is interested though, this sorcery of misspelling cool words with less sensitive ones is called minced oath. You're welcome, I guess. Now, what am I trying to achieve with this video? Do I think that I'll be able to change the way you see life, the way you choose to live your life? No, I probably won't, but I'm simply preparing you for what's to come on this channel. And that is, I want you to learn bad words in your target language. Not only it's fun, it might also save your life. At the end of each video, I will start exposing you to the bad words of the Spanish language, and maybe some popular expressions that people use a lot. Before we begin today's lesson, I want you to remember 2 things. First, you're allowed to swear only in the right places with the right people. What that means is that you should probably not swear in the wrong places with the wrong people, especially in a language that you are not entirely proficient yet. So the plan is to include one bad word or expression at the end of each video, but since this is the first time I'm doing it, I will include 3 bad words as a thank you for sticking with me so far. Let's begin. Ah damn, almost forgot. Dear YouTube, the epic swearing patterns you are about to witness are encouraged to use for educational purposes only. The author of this video is not forcing his dumb beliefs on anyone except that one where the earth might actually be a pyramid, like for real bro, go make your own research. Bro. Other than that, please keep your average size algorithms in your pants, as I'm just trying to help and have fun. So the words we will discuss today are... Just kidding, what I said was pendejo, pinche, and verga. The word number 1. El pendejo or la pendeja. If you've only heard a single bad word in Spanish throughout your life, it was probably the word pendejo. You probably already know that this word means a dumbass, and that's correct. But what you probably did not know is that the word pendejo comes from the Latin word pectiniculus, which basically referred to pubic hair. Well, now you know. Nowadays though, it's just a simple way of calling someone a stupid, fool, idiot, or dumbass. El pendejo is used with the boys and la pendeja with the ladies. There's 2 more words that are related to pendejo, a noun la pendejada and the verb pendejear. La pendejada refers to something that is stupid or just a stupid thing. For example, you could say no hagas pendejadas, which means don't do stupid things. On the other hand, the verb pendejear means to mess around or do something stupid. So you can say deja de pendejear y pon la mesa. There are also some regional differences when it comes to word pendejo. In most countries it means what we've just discussed, but as I was making research for this video, I've learned that in Argentina and Uruguay, for example, the word pendejo can be used to describe someone who's young and inexperienced. For example, the sentence ese pendejo no sabe nada can be translated as this dumbass doesn't know anything in most countries. But in Argentina it can mean this kid doesn't know anything. So it still kinda means stupid, but only because it's referring to the young person who doesn't know any better at the moment. In this case, it's not necessarily an insult, so be careful with this. The word number 2, pinche. Welcome to the land of Mexico, where the first word the baby says is not a mommy or daddy, and not even tequila, but pinche. This is the top 3 words people use on a regular basis, because unlike you, Mexicans know how to party. So the word pinche is an adjective that stands for fucking, freaking, damn or bloody. Simple, right? Some examples include pinche federal, me quitó la moto. Ese pinche coche no arranca. Now, this is how it's used in 90% of cases and mostly in Mexico. But apparently this word has 2 other meanings that you will probably never use. But since I'm a fucking professional, I wanted to be as informative as possible. The meaning number 2 of the word pinche is to call someone cheap or stingy. For example, no seas pinche, comparte con los demás. Ese tipo tan pinche nunca da propina. The third meaning of the word pinche is a masculine noun that means a kitchen assistant. Yes, I'm not joking, and I'm as perplexed as you are. If this is the only translation of the word pinche you've ever come across, then you and I live completely different lives, my friend. Congrats on being a mentally stable legend. Oh yeah, here's an example of pinche as a kitchen assistant. Juan va a trabajar de pinche este verano. When it comes to regional differences, like I said, the pejorative version of the word pinche is used mostly in Mexico, but the other two are less frequent, so I wouldn't worry about them too much. I did not make this video to talk about kitchen assistants. The last word for today is la verga, which is one of the most popular vulgar versions of the word penis, also known as dick. Throughout my whole Spanish learning journey, this was the only meaning of the word verga that I knew from movies, shows, and people I've met. And I was fine with that. It's not like I had a YouTube channel or anything. Now though, my job is to inform, and inform I will. Apparently it all started in the 16th century with the Latin word virga, which means rod or staff, basically a stick. Even during these times, people were using the word virga to make all kinds of jokes about penises. Boys be boys, I guess. Let's jump to 18th century, and apparently the Spanish language is a thing now. Not only that, but the word virga became verga. But it still doesn't officially mean penis. What it did mean was a long horizontal wooden pole attached to the ship's mast from which the sails are set. In English we call it a yard, but in Spanish, even now, it is known as verga. 1 century later, the word verga enters its final stage of development, which gives it a bunch of additional meanings, none of which are meant to be used in front of your grandmother. Let's proceed. The first option is a vulgar version of the word penis. Don't forget that even though we're talking about something masculine, the word verga is somehow a feminine noun in Spanish. So it's not el verga, it's la verga. The second meaning is to express surprise, frustration, or emphasis, just like we do it with English when we say, what the hell, for example. In Spanish, that would be que verga. Another example is verga, se nos acaba de pinchar una llanta. Here's one more. Verga, me fui de casa y me olvidé de dejarle comida al perro. The last thing to note about the word verga is that it's used in lots of popular vulgar expressions that you'll be hearing everywhere. Some of them are a la verga, which means to the hell with it. Vete a la verga, which means go to hell or fuck off. Estar a la verga means to be in a bad situation, to be messed up, or to be really drunk. And my personal favorite, me vale verga, which means I don't give a shit. There's many more expressions like this, but sadly not enough time to cover them all, unless you really want me to. This should be enough for today though. Alright, that's it for today. Let's do a quick recap. Swearing, just like hacking and martial arts, is a tool that has its benefits, such as increased pain tolerance, intelligence, and honesty. All of this works, but only if you use it sparingly. Nobody is making you swear, but it makes sense to learn to recognize these words in public, just in case. Live your life how you want, just don't be a dick about it. If or when you swear in a foreign language, always make sure that you use the bad words correctly, as calling a random person pendejo might earn you a lovely punch in the face. I would recommend you to test all the words you're interested in with someone you already know, or just watch shows and movies and read books. You should be doing this anyway. Everything we've discussed today is available in the description. Any questions, you let me know. See ya!